I was 15 when it happened, the summer I decided I was too grown to waste the days just sitting around playing video games. I wanted to save for a beat-up car so I could get out of my boring little neighborhood. That meant getting a job, and the only place that would hire me was this old gas station about a mile from my house. It was one of those heavy summer days where the air felt like wet cotton, sticking to your skin no matter how many showers you took. You could hear cicadas buzzing constantly, so loud it felt like they were inside your head. That day, my shift ended a little after 8 p.m. because the manager made me sweep out the storage room. It was that golden hour where the sun was low, but the air still felt hot on your face. I didn't mind the walk home. My neighborhood was quiet, a sleepy place with cracked sidewalks and big trees that cast long shadows across the road. Halfway home, as I passed this empty lot with knee-high grass, I heard it. That warped, cheerful music of an ice cream truck echoing faintly just out of sight. It was strange, because it was nearly dark, and I hadn't seen an ice cream truck all day. The sound was hollow, almost metallic, like a music box underwater. I stopped, listening as the melody got closer, the notes stretching and slowing down like the batteries were dying. And then I saw it. This old, dented white ice cream truck turned the corner behind me, crawling down the street. The paint was chipped, and faded cartoon stickers of popsicles and smiling faces were peeling off the side. On top was a rusty speaker, the source of that warped melody, playing the same tune over and over. At first, I thought it was weird, but maybe the driver was just trying to catch a last round of kids before it got too dark. I turned back around, trying to ignore it, but the hair on the back of my neck wouldn't settle down. I kept walking, and I could feel it creeping behind me. That music getting a little louder, a little more warped with each step. When I turned to look, it stopped, headlights flickering, the engine rumbling softly. The serving window was closed, but I could see a shape in the driver's seat, leaning forward like he was watching me. I tried to brush it off and kept walking, but I picked up my pace, my shoes crunching on the gravel, trying to act like I wasn't scared. I turned down my street, hoping it would keep going. But I heard the engine rev, and the music grew louder again. It turned onto my street. The sky was dark now, the streetlights flickering on, and the truck's headlights glared in my eyes every time I glanced back. I crossed the street to the sidewalk on the other side, hoping it would keep going, but it pulled over to my side, matching my pace. I could see the silhouette of the driver through the dirty windshield, leaning forward, head tilted slightly, following my every move. My throat was dry, and I tried to convince myself it was a coincidence, but then the truck stopped in the middle of the road, and the music cut off. The street fell silent except for the cicadas. I could hear the engine idling, deep and rattling like it was ready to lunge. The serving window slid open with a metallic screech that echoed down the empty street. At first, it was pitch black inside, but then I saw the outline of a head, the glint of glasses catching the streetlight. He didn't say anything. He just leaned further out and I saw the corners of a wide, crooked smile. That was enough. I turned and started jogging, trying not to break into a sprint, but the truck's headlights snapped on and the engine roared to life. The warped music started again, louder, distorted, like the speaker was about to burst. I broke into a run, cutting through a neighbor's yard to reach my driveway faster. As I jumped the small fence, I heard tires screech behind me, the truck turning the corner to follow. I could hear the music over the cicadas, getting closer, the notes twisting into something that sounded almost like screaming. I reached my driveway and fumbled with my keys, dropping them once, my hands slick with sweat. I could see the truck at the end of the driveway, headlights off now, engine idling, the driver hanging halfway out the window, watching me. I finally got inside, slammed the door, and locked it, pressing my back against the wood, heart pounding so hard I could barely hear anything else. I peeked through the blinds, careful not to move them too much, and saw the truck still sitting there, the driver's pale face just visible, eyes hidden behind dark glasses, his mouth twisted in that same crooked smile. He lifted a hand, slowly, like he was waving at me. Then, without turning the headlights back on, the truck started rolling backward, disappearing down the street with the music still playing softly until it was gone. That night, I barely slept, every creak of the house making me think he was outside, waiting. But it didn't end there. 2 days later, our neighbor, Mrs. Landry, found her yard littered with melted ice cream and popsicle wrappers leading up to her basement window, which was cracked open. She said she woke up around 3 a.m. and heard a music box playing outside, but when she looked, there was nothing there. The same night, around midnight, I was lying in bed, finally drifting off when I heard it again. That warped melody, drifting down the street, faint but getting closer. I crawled to my window and looked out through the crack in the blinds. There it was, the ice cream truck, parked at the end of my driveway, engine off, headlights off, but that same song playing, slower than before, like it was falling apart. The driver was standing outside the truck this time, leaning against it, head tilted up toward my window. The moonlight caught on his glasses, and for a moment I saw his face clearly. His skin was pale, almost gray, with dark circles under his eyes, and his mouth was twisted into that same unnatural smile. His teeth looked too long, too sharp in the glow of the moonlight. He lifted something in his hand, and I saw it was an ice cream cone. The scoop melted and dripping onto the pavement, but he held it up like he was offering it to me. I ducked down, heart pounding so loud I could barely hear the music anymore. I called for my dad, whispering, too scared to shout, and when he came into the room, the music had stopped. We both looked out the window, and the truck was gone, just an empty street and the buzzing of cicadas. The next day, I found a popsicle stick on our front porch, placed neatly in the center, with a dark red smear on it that looked like dried blood. We called the police, but they didn't find anything. They told us they'd patrol the neighborhood, but there wasn't much they could do. That summer, I started taking the long way home, sticking to main roads, avoiding quiet streets. Every time I heard the faintest sound of an ice cream truck, even in broad daylight, I felt that cold chill crawl up my spine. We never saw that truck in our neighborhood again, but sometimes, when the cicadas are buzzing and the air is heavy, I swear I can hear that warped music drifting in the distance. And every now and then, late at night, I think I see headlights flicker off down the street, or a pale face behind dark glasses watching from a parked van, waiting.